Got myself a little Ningxia Zing, a little energy drink thing to get me through this video. I'm just kidding, I actually love talking about gear. And today, as you've seen in the title of the video, talking about my setup, which is the GoPro Hero 9. And right now, so usually I film all my stuff on this, but right now you're watching stuff from the GoPro Hero 7. And next week I'm going to do my GoPro Hero 7 video, because it's a completely different setup. Not completely, it's a little bit different setup than the 9. But we're going to jump into what I used to film all my videos on the GoPro 9, because I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram asking what camera am I using, and then when they find out I'm using a GoPro, they usually ask how am I filming and what is my setup. And I've got that comment on YouTube a few times, so today we talk about the GoPro Hero 9. So to start off the video, I'm going to give you a rundown how the video is going to go. So I'm going to give you a rundown of all my gear, and then I'm going to show you how I set up all my gear, if that makes sense. So it's like what I have and then how I set it up. So first off, GoPro Hero 9. I got it from GoPro with their bundle kit or whatever they call it. So you get a case, camera, extra battery, an SD card, and this little handheld thing here. You also get a little clamp thing that you can, like, I guess, clamp onto poles and stuff. I don't know where it is. I was looking for it and I can't find it anywhere. I thought I saw it, but I didn't see it. Frankly, I bought like a Gorilla tripod thing so I can just like hook it up to stuff. So I find that's way more useful and versatile than the little clip thing. And so that's the GoPro, so that's what I bought there. Then I also bought this thing, which is a very key piece to everything that I'm doing. It's called the GoPro Media Mod. So with the GoPro Media Mod, you get these little things in the back here where you can plug in an external mic, a charging cable, you get some other little thing there. I've not used that, but this comes in really handy. One, for the mic on the actual camera itself is pretty good. I do plan on upgrading to a better mic, but I have not done that yet because I find this does a pretty good job and I just haven't needed it yet. So all the audio you hear in my videos that sounds really nice and crisp is coming from this mod. And I think this runs around $40 US. Again, all this stuff will be linked in the description so you can see the prices exactly. And yeah, the next thing you're going to want to get is some Polar Pro ND filters for your GoPro. These things are super easy and handy. All you do, so they look like this. If I go over the video, you'll see what I mean. Makes it a bit darker. These are pretty much sunglasses for your camera. So the settings that I run, it would make the camera, it'd make the video footage look too overexposed. And you don't want overexposed footage because then it looks blown out and not very good. But you throw one of these guys on here and it looks a lot better. I should have showed you guys this when I took the other one off. So they just twist off. And these ones too, you just put it on and it pops right in. It's nice and locked in there. So that is essential. I keep wanting to run into the details about the stuff, but I'm going to do that in the second part of this video. Then, next critical thing you're going to need is a heavy duty battery pack. This one, it's called a Pocket Juice from Kizuni. I don't know how to say that, maybe you guys do. But this thing is super handy. I have gone filming for like 5 hours, and this has kept my GoPro fully charged in -10, -15 degrees. I haven't been out really filming in -20 yet, but this thing at most has been down 2 bars, but for the most part I have zero complaints about this thing. On the off chance that this one ever does die, I run this one. It's called the Roker. It's another battery pack. I picked it up when I was traveling in Indonesia. Got it for like 10 bucks. I know they're not that cheap here in Canada or in the US probably. Yeah, so I run 2 battery packs. This one's the backup in case this one does ever die. So the other thing I run is a light for night footage, or usually when I'm actually filming this stuff, but again, I'm using this other little light right there for this one because I need to show you guys this one. So it turns on, so it's gonna be a little bit bright probably, but what you do is you turn it on right there. You got your plus and minus and a little charging port. This comes with these papers that you can use to diffuse the light depending on what you're filming and what the lighting is like, as well as comes with this little adapter thing to hook up to whatever camera setup you're doing. So you hook it in like this, do the little screw at the back, and that's that. So the other thing I'm running is this like monopod thing called an Sigma NS MP70. Again, link will be in the description, with a GoPro pole mount to this iPhone GoPro mount thing, which this was $12, and what I use this for is to hold the battery pack in place. It's super handy. I had the tape here just because I find it does kind of bump up and down a little bit with just how much you hit jumps and whatnot, and that can get a bit annoying, but it just has a little adjuster at the back where you just open it, slide it in, and then you just do that and close it. That's pretty much my whole setup. This thing gets quite a bit of room, goes quite a bit longer too. Now there are other options for these things. I will eventually be upgrading to a carbon fiber one, which I will link in the description, because this one's great, but I've had it for a year now, and the little tabs here are getting a little bit worn, and after a long day can get a bit heavy. And from what I have heard and read, that the carbon fiber one is pretty light. In comparison, they're both very light, but in comparison it's lighter, which would make things a lot nicer, because a couple pounds add up after a long day of riding. The other thing that I have with me at all times is this little pack which holds all my SD cards. GoPros take micro SD cards, so I have these things that hold them in a regular SD card thing, so I can plug it right into the computer if I want to, but then the micro SD for holding them goes right in there, which nicely fits into your case. Because with the settings that we're filming on, you do fill up SD cards fairly quick, depending on what size of SD card you're running, which can be annoying. So now we're gonna jump into me setting up the actual camera and everything. You'll see how it looks when it's done. All right, so it's pretty straightforward, but you take your Media Mod, and this is one of my pet peeves about GoPro actually, which you'll see, is in order to get out the battery, you have to undo the whole system, because the little tabs, which used to be on a case, like with all the other GoPros, like the Hero 8 and everything, the GoPro itself sits inside of a case, and then those tabs are on the case. So you can just pop out the GoPro, change the battery, SD card, put it back in, and it's very seamless. And I thought I would like this style better, but I don't, because when you constantly have to undo everything just to change an SD card, it's super annoying. But without further ado, I'll show you the whole setup. So we take the GoPro, and there's a little tab here that you just pop off. What you get is your GoPro looks like this, and it just clicks in, but we don't want that, so you just pull it out and click it in. Okay, so you got your GoPro on. We already have our ND filter on. Now, deciding on your ND filter depends on how bright it is. If it's a super sunny day, no clouds, you're gonna want to run your ND32 filter. That's mainly what I shoot on. Semi-cloudy days, but there's still a good amount of sun, I run the 16. I barely ever run the 8, which is on here right now. I shouldn't have put that on for the example, but that's what's on there. If it's a cloudy day, I honestly usually just run the clear one, but with the GoPro you can see what it looks like. So maybe if it's a bright cloudy day, run the 8, but very rarely do I ever run the 8. I usually just switch it out to the clear lens. So now you got that going, you're gonna attach it to your GoPro. So most GoPros too, they come with these little, this one's gonna be on here, good. So it's one that just screws onto like a tripod. They're super handy. Most GoPros do come with these mounts from my memory of GoPros, and I've had a lot of them. But all you do is slide it in. Screw it in. The other thing is, usually I have a screwdriver with me. It's in my truck right now because it's a Phillips or a Star screwdriver head there, and like hand tight, I find it still gets a little bit loose. Half a turn on the screwdriver makes it super nice and sturdy. the other thing, so then from this point, what we do is I hook up my external hard drive. So again, you just slide it in, super straightforward. Clamp it down using that little bolt. And then you take your charging cable that you get with your GoPro and you plug it into the back of the GoPro, or the Media Mod, I should say. This is why you need the Media Mod the most. So now it's going to register that it's charging something, and on the front you should see that it's charging. So the GoPro is not on, but it's getting power. So the whole time you're running the camera, you're getting juice to the camera, which is super nice. So honestly, this is pretty much my whole setup right here. It's that simple. There's nothing that crazy about it. Now, when it's cloudy or night, so here in Calgary, we have COP, which they're not really open during the day right now. They're only open during the night. And I haven't been out there because of COVID. They're super restricted on who can ride there. And I didn't get a season's pass, and which kind of sucks. But for some street filming or just night clips, I run this thing, and that should just slide right on to the top here. So you just cinch it down with this little one right here, the first little lever thing, and then you tighten it up with this top one, and you are zooming. So this is how the GoPro setup is, all said and done. Now we're gonna jump into the settings of the GoPro. All right, so GoPro is turned on, and so what we have here, so with the Hero 9, the cool thing is you can make these presets, and you can just make a new one. So I'm gonna make a new one just to show you guys exactly what we're going through. So here you can see there's slow-mo, looping, video. Just click video. You're gonna come back here. So resolution, this is the standard 1080 by 60 frames a second. What I like to run is 2.7K with 60. You should click that, it should go back. Lens mode. So this is the only thing I have a preset for wide and linear. So if you scroll up to, or this is super view, so you can see there's a lot of, it's like super fisheye. All my stuff that I film while snowboarding, like all my follow can stuff, is filmed on the wide version, or the wide lens. For the B-roll shots, like the shots I get of people's faces, which I don't do that much, I usually shoot on this horizon leveling, or vlogs and anything like that where I'm talking. This is the setting I'm filming at. And then there's this narrow one, which I never shoot on. So for the sake of this one, we're gonna get it set up for the most standard thing, which is the wide. And Hypersmooth, I usually run the boost, as it is just the max stabilization, and I find it works really good. Duration tells the camera how long you want the camera to film for before turning off. I do no limit because sometimes I'm filming for a while. Hindsight means that if you start recording, it can pick up the last couple seconds of whatever it was the camera was filming beforehand, even though it technically wasn't filming anything. So I just leave that off. So shutter speed, so because I'm running 60 frames a second, I do 120 shutter, makes it for nice slow motion. White balance, I usually run 55 Kelvin, but this kind of is all over the place depending on the lighting, because this stuff is really dependent on the weather outside. So we'll just leave it at 50,000 Kelvin. ISO minimum 100, ISO max, I go, honestly, most people don't do this, I guess, but I run ISO 200, again, depending on what I'm filming, because again, typically it's outdoors, it's super bright out. As you can see right now, it makes everything super dark on the camera, so I wouldn't film that right now, but on my traditional days of filming, that's what I would use. All right, I'm back. So what ended up happening was the GoPro 7, which I was filming on, ended up overheating and dying towards the end of my video, which was a bummer. So that brings me to my last final thought, because I was ending the video and then that reminded me. So the GoPro 7s, their batteries are a lot smaller than the Hero 9 batteries. And I believe the 8s are these ones. I could be wrong. The 8s might be these ones. I'm not 100% sure. The point of me saying that is get the Hero 9, save yourself the headaches of the Hero 7, and just spend a little bit of extra money and get the Hero 9. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the bell notification, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, as it really helps me grow my channel, and that allows me to help you guys more. So if you have any questions regarding GoPro stuff, filming skateboarding or snowboarding or Premiere, anything like that, drop me a comment if you have a problem with any of those things, and I'll be happy to help you figure your problems out. So with that, have a good week. I'll see you guys on Friday when I drop my next vlog / snowboard video. Probably gonna be a vlog snowboard video, because somewhere in between there. And remember, quitters don't win, so don't give up on your dreams. The only way you fail is if you quit, so don't quit. All right, until next time, guys.